Flea, what up, what up, what up? You know, we're setting it up early instead of late, but we in here. There we go, that's better. That's better. All right. So, yeah, man, you already know what up, son. We'll see if we can get both and Carrie and Nice in here. That'll be fucking cool. So, yeah, man, you already know. As always, thanks for the support and stopping by to listen to a bunch of people smoke weed and talk about football. Now, I can say that this is probably the only sports show where, well, at least NFL dedicated show where they smoke while the show is going on. I know the shows that I watch, they're all fucking potheads, but they do that shit off camera because they got like big sponsorships from Disney and shit. Now, that ain't us. I think Mac Jones will actually be fourth, dude. I think there's that quarterback from BYU's. People are going to look at him more than Mac Jones. Mac Jones gets to play football with an absolute and total embarrassment of riches of talent. And even then, his throws were all over the fucking map last night. No, so what's going to happen with Tua is right now the Texans, I hear, are trying to swing a trade and send Tua to Miami. I mean, Watson to Miami, and then get Tua and some draft picks, like maybe 2 number 1s and a 2 or something like that with Tua, because the McNair family is done pissed off fucking Deshaun Watson, which I don't know why in the world, if you actually have a franchise quarterback, you would piss him off. But anyway, we'll get into that. Welcome, everybody. It is Wildcard Breakdown on Gray Matter. It's time to roll the fuck up while I play this theme song.
333 RIPP Don P PhD. Yeah. I said RIP TV. Tell the homie. Mob Deep Mondays, that's everyday, thoughty. It's all for the community. That's what P showed me. We lost without the unity. Where the fuck is the OGs? RIPP, God bless the real. Only for the righteous, the rest will go to hell. Flipping through the book of Revelation, figure it out. Transliterate the translation, do it yourself. It's the last days, life is a test and we in a cage. Concrete jungle, everyday struggle. Fuck the pain, I'm on some HNIC shit. Hegelian 3 shit. If you don't know what I mean, you was never G. Real shit, RIP. Yo, P, play that beat back, 333. Burn some weed, repeat that. Shake me up a tuka pack, break me off a 20 piece. I'm gone, never looking back. Yeah, I can't talk to me. RIP TV, tell the homie. Mob Deep Mondays, that's everyday, thoughty. It's all for the community. That's what P showed me. We lost without the unity. Where the fuck is the OGs? Like the weed, play some IMD for me. It's hell on earth for real, but y'all don't wanna see paper trail politics. All the shit was prophecy, strictly for the family. Peace to the prodigy. RIPP, I sleep when it's time for me. Dope dreams, bring the skizzy, pour the Hennessy. Searching for some inner peace, couple hundred G's. Deadly weapons and some weed just for you and me. RIPP, I sleep when it's time for me. Dope dreams, bring the skizzy, pour the Hennessy. Searching for some inner peace, couple hundred G's. Deadly weapons and some weed just for you and me. Yo.
What up, God?
What up, God? Oh, shit, we all in here. I love it, man. Hold on, let me stop my theme music. Yo, what up, everybody?
What's up?
Oh, nice. You're looking all bright and shiny. You definitely not going out tonight. What's up?
Now I'll go to restaurant real quick. You know, just started eating things like that.
Of course, the things that rap superstars do and all that good shit.
Yes.
We rocking the all black theme today.
Yeah.
Blacked out, bitches.
What up? Well, apparently there are things that are black and white on the show, including the apparel. So nice. I didn't get to talk to you yet.
Yeah.
So on our all-pro picks, we literally only missed 2 players, and what I really consider it 1.5, because the 2 players that we didn't put as first-team all-pro, we actually discussed how they were probably going to make them first-team all-pro, and because of things of that nature. So we were pretty much dead on that shit, homie.
Dead on, like how we do, man.
Son, all the way clear down to the punt returner. We had everybody right. It was
Yeah. I mean, this is what we do, man. We are the truth, man. You know what I mean? For you listeners out there.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I don't know any other sports show that's like NFL focused where, well, at least myself is getting smashed the entire time that we're doing this.
What?
I mean, I know, like, all the shows, all the shows that I watch and shit, they, like I said, they got sponsorship deals with Disney and all that shit, so they definitely don't smoke on camera. Nah, man, I'm sponsored by Cushwick Farms. I gotta smoke on camera.
That's right.
Word. Right. So, overall thoughts on Wild Card Weekend?
Steelers. Biggest letdown.
No, shut up. No, it wasn't a letdown. That was fully expected.
I have a Cleveland Browns shirt, and I almost rocked the Cleveland Browns shirt. It's just, what I'm saying, because I thought that was Cleveland. That's how I wanted to start the show, man.
Steelers. Well, we all know Ben Arm is trash, so.
Right.
It's over.
All right, so nice. Is this the end of that Steelers era?
It's the end of Big Ben era.
No, so listen, Marquise Pouncey already announced his retirement. He's done.
Yeah, it's over. I mean,
Juju's not going to be there anymore. This dude was doing TikTok dances as Big Ben was calling out cadences during the game, son. Like, what is he doing out there? He's not going to be back. They got a lot of contract issues and some older players that I think it's done. You got to look at the rest of the league. You got to look at the rest of their division. Cleveland has now taken the turn. Cleveland is going to be around for a while, so get used to it. Baltimore, Lamar Jackson's only 24 fucking years old, dude. They're going to be around for a while. And Cincinnati's got Joey Bag of Donuts. So,
boy band.
Pittsburgh might have the 4th best quarterback in the AFC North next season.
We got to look about who's his backups: Mason Rudolph and Joshua Dobbs.
So, unless they go and get Sam Darnold.
No, that's not going to happen, man. Y'all keeping? Well, I can't say y'all anymore. They're going to keep Sam I Am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin Fields wasn't looking too good last night, and if I'm the Jets, I'm doing everything I can to get Devontae Smith into New York. I don't give a fuck.
He might be another New York team if we could work some things out.
Everybody who saw that game said, "Oh, wait a minute, fuck that quarterback. Who is this? I want that guy."
But also, hot take, I could see Juju Smith with the G's. I could see that because who we keeping? We're not keeping Golden Tate. See ya.
I can see Juju.
Receiver.
I can see Juju going to the Jets though, just because Sam Darnold's there. That connection already.
That's the boy. Yeah, I can see him in New York one way or the other.
Yeah, well, plus the personality. He wants to be a social media star anyway. He doesn't even give a fuck about football. So, New York would be his biggest incentive to play well. Would be under that New York microscope. So I can see that shit happening definitely with that one. I wasn't disappointed, though, Nice. I literally texted Carrie a screenshot of the conversation I had with my older brother at 8:01 as they're walking onto the field. I texted my brother, who is a diehard Steelers fan, and said, Steelers are losing. I saw Big Ben, the look in Big Ben's eyes, bad body language. It's over. And I texted, I sent Carrie that screenshot because I knew it. And then, listen, and then the next text was, and now this is expert level prognostication. I said, Cleveland's probably going to get up big fast, and then Steelers are going to stage a furious comeback because that's when they switch their offense up from 5 yards down the field to 15 to 20 yards down the field whenever they're running no huddle and shit. I said, but it won't be enough. They'll already. And then look, I didn't listen, man. Nobody expected Marquise Pouncey to snap it over Ben's head into the end zone on the first play.
Yeah, on the first play, the very first play.
That was crazy. But I mean,
that's when you knew it was over.
I texted Joe and I was like, yo, I was talking to my man and I was like, yo, as long as Cleveland, I see Cleveland pounding that rock, and I said Ben's arm is noodles. Like he underthrows, he overthrows, and he's gonna throw a couple of Cleveland. He threw double than a couple. He threw 4 to Cleveland.
You saw how wobbly it was, and I called it probably 8 or 9 weeks ago whenever they started to blame all the receivers. And I said it first, it's not the receivers. That ball was coming out weird. And the time, as you could see it as the season went on, it got slower and slower. And then you saw it with Justin Fields last night. You could tell those ribs were fucked up, dude.
Those ribs were tenderized.
Son, he could not get that ball down the field. He was throwing balloons. It was just popping up in the air.
More than the rib, you also had a hip pointer, and if you can't explode through your hips, you're not gonna be able to get good velocity on that rock.
Yeah, see that game against Clemson, he had the adrenaline pumping. You know, he went in at halftime and they just gave him a shot right on the spot. Well, you also had now a span of a week plus to let all that shit set in, and you could see it. He just did not even look the same.
Plus, it didn't help that their star running back got knocked out the game in the first quarter.
Well, nice. It doesn't help when the team you're playing has an NFL roster.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, that team is retarded. That particular iteration of Alabama that just won by an average, the lowest point total they put up was 31 points this year. They literally dominated and played a full schedule. Dominated everyone.
And they're not giving Najee Smith at running back enough credit. He's probably the best running back in the country on the collegiate level.
Yes, he is.
Not getting the credit because he was outshadowed by Devonta Smith and also Jalen Waddell, who got to get in a little bit, which good for him because he's going to go to the league.
All right, so both of you guys, nice, Kerry. I've been waiting to ask you this question. I almost wrote it down last night because I was just like, I don't want to forget this one. So I noticed a trend because of the Rona year, and I want to get your guys' take on it. So what we're seeing in the year of Rona is in almost every single league, essentially. I don't know what happened in baseball because I don't watch baseball. I don't even remember.
Dodgers won.
Well, that's just a traditional powerhouse, essentially. They've been to the World Series like the last 4 years in a row.
They did it for Tommy Lasorda, R.I.P.
R.I.P. Tommy. But if you look at the staples, since the Roni has really hit, the lead megastar athlete because in college football we know the coach is the star. So the lead megastar who is traditionally always there is the one who's able to navigate through the weirdest year in sports. Mm-hmm. LeBron was able to walk through the playoffs and win a championship. Nick Saban walked right through the whole season and won a championship. So, you know who that bodes well for. Tampa Tommy.
I was going to say, because I was like, well, Belichick is out. That leaves Tom.
It's only Tom. Now, the only thing that's going to hurt him is it's not his whole team. You know, it's not his whole team. It's still, but LeBron was that was still his second year, so it's a little bit different. But if it does benefit any quarterback whatsoever to have navigated troubled waters through the playoffs, it's going to be Tom.
Well, I would say this. LeBron had AD, which was a bona fide help. And Tommy has AB.
I was just about to say Tommy's got AB, who has scored a touchdown in his last 5 games. So you already know.
Right now, and so watch for that action.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I called it. It's Tampa Bay and Kansas City, man.
Yo, Dice, it's not even fair. It's literally not even competition-wise. It's not fair to have 2 legitimate number 1 receivers on the outside, like actual number 1s, because if one goes down, the other one goes for like 15 catches and 180 yards.
Yep.
And then you go and put maybe one of the best receivers who has ever played the game, especially short space receiver, and now you're going to make him a slot, which is Tom's favorite go-to. Yep. And they're catching it at the right time. Gronk looks good.
Great.
Yeah, man. It's just that defense isn't very good. That's the only thing. That defense is not any good.
Your man, 35, Dean. No, he's terrible.
Yeah, don't they have anybody else? They can't put anybody out. You know, I'd put Antoine Winfield over at corner. I'd switch him.
Seriously. And just have Dean play strong safety. Like,
yeah.
He can thump. He's a big dude.
He hits, and he does have 6 picks, so he got picked on a lot, but he can catch the ball, so I feel like at safety you have a better chance of sniping some passes instead of getting cooked at one-on-one scenarios all season long.
He doesn't have sweet feet on that corner. He doesn't have sweet feet on that. So,
Yeah, I would do the switch as well.
Yeah, Winfield's proven he can cover. He's been covering top elite level tight ends, and he's been jumped down into the slot all season long. So why not?
Why not?
That Buffalo and Indy game was pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, that was a real good one. That was a good one. We knew what the outcome was going to be, but it was a good one.
Yeah, it just shows how tough that Colts, the no names, that Colt defense.
They were talking about Phillip Rivers possibly coming back because it's a stacked team, but why wouldn't you give it one more shot?
I could see him doing that.
And then also that gives you the opportunity to go get a quarterback maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round because you don't really need anything right now. You're pretty much stacked. Maybe get another receiver or something. Who knows? They're stacked, dude. They're fucking stacked.
I would actually grab a tight end.
Yeah, they had Jack Doyle started going crazy in the playoffs.
Yeah,
get a receiving tight end, one that can move in space and whatnot. But nice, you look at him. That team is completely stacked. Phillip Rivers was crying like a senior in high school after the game was over. So I was like, yo, it looks like he might hang it up too because Drew Brees already said he's done. And I texted Carrie. Nice, Tom is not going to let the last time he faces Drew Brees to get that W and have anything on him post-retirement. Nah, son. Nah. They are going to destroy. They won't destroy them because the Saints have a very good defense. And Michael Thomas is fucking good. And who's going to cover him? Who's going to cover him?
You got Kamara, who that dude has the best balance in the game at the position.
Yeah, easily. His balance is incredible, dude.
He's shifty. He's so shifty, man.
Yeah. No one really lays the wood on him like that, and he's just stronger than what people know.
Yeah. So but Tampa, I believe Tampa is gonna pull through.
Well, I mean, if you go with my preseason pick, it was Baltimore and Tampa. So I think Tampa, based off of just how the NFL being the entertainment monster it is, they're going to try to push having the first home team in the Super Bowl, blah, 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 blah. It's Tom Brady, all that. They're going to love it. They're going to love it.
Yeah, they're going to eat it up.
They're going to eat that shit up. But Buffalo, man, Buffalo looks really fucking good, man. And if they're not going to do something this year, then you have to look at the Buffalo Bills in the next few years as a absolute and total legitimate Super Bowl threat.
Yeah, I mean, they a Super Bowl threat right now. It's just it's Mahomes' time right now.
Well, nice. I'm going to say they might be a Super Bowl threat right now, but not really.
Yeah.
Not really. It's just like you got to go through that lump of some playoff lumps. You can't just make a run to the Super Bowl unless you have a historically great unit like the Tampa Bay.
You got to go through the Jordan versus Detroit Pistons years.
Yeah, it always nobody ever just makes a run through the playoff, especially if you have a foundation built. And you look like you're going to be good for a while. So, Josh Allen, wow, dude.
We just also have to see the health of Diggs and Beasley. That's going to loom large. You need those two. But
that does loom large. And then also you have to look at a giant departure. And being a Patriots fan for 20 years, I experienced this every single fucking season. Brian DeBoer is going to be a head coach somewhere, so there goes that awesome offensive coordinator that you've had for the last few years. Yep. And the guy who developed Josh Allen is now going to be doing that somewhere else. So, big fucking shoes to fill. Speaking of big shoes to fill, Alex Van Pelt called one hell of a game for the Browns. That guy just got himself an OC job somewhere.
Yeah.
You also would never think that he was a former quarterback. He looks like a damn former O-lineman.
No, I actually remember him as a quarterback. I just remember that name. Yeah, you remember him. It's just, he got big.
He did. He called a hell of a game. And those boys, they just played. I mean, I'm telling you right now, Chubb Rock, Nick Chubb is my favorite running back in the league. Silent assassin. He just goes and he handles his business. He's faster than what people know. He's quicker than what people think. And he's just fucking strong as
well, also, if you look at just how it's funny because in his stance, dude, he's literally just standing in the backfield. He doesn't even lean over or anything, but as soon as he gets the ball, his shoulders are automatically leaned forward.
He gives you tell. He gives you no tell. And now is he's starting to catch the rock out the backfield, which that's going to be major problems for opposing defenses if they get that going.
Yeah. I mean, their balanced attack, I mean, we were saying it all season long. Once they play a balanced attack, they're very hard to beat. They're not gonna go out that easy.
Well, plus they, we'll just talk about the Browns right now. They got that huge proverbial monkey off of their back, but their quarterback is particularly one who plays with confidence. So if you've got him questioning shit, he's a little shaky. But if he's feeling himself, dude, Baker's untouchable.
Yeah.
And he played a very smart game. With the check downs, he wasn't forcing balls. And I was like, wow, if you get this Baker, watch out. It's going to be tough. And he was elusive in the pocket. And, and he was just making accurate throws.
Yeah, so nice. One thing that I have to give credit to both Alex Van Pelt and Baker Mayfield and the whole Browns offense as a total. When you go up that quick, when you're up 21 points and there's only been 4 minutes run off the clock and you've got fucking the entire game left, it's really hard to hold on to that game. It's really fucking hard, dude. It's there's so much time, and the other team is just pressing the gas pedal the entire time. They got nothing to lose, and you're just trying not to lose at that point. You don't want to get people hurt unnecessarily and shit like that, and you end up blowing a lot of games like that, and they almost did. Yeah, they almost did because it's hard. That's hard to hold on to a lead like that.
I've been through it 68 flipping times, and also whoever number 34 is for the Browns. At playing corner, he was getting cooked, roasted, flambéed, baked twice, fried, refried. I mean, he went through it. So I was like, I hope Denzel Ward comes back because you're going up against the Chiefs. Good night and good luck.
Well, not only that, they had Denzel and Greedy were both out. So you're looking at backup quarters against a great receiving core.
Yeah.
But see... you look at the rest of the receivers, they were able to adjust to catching the ball from bed. The only one, Deontay Johnson, it meant to, now he's got the yips. Now he's got it to, he can't catch it.
Because now the spotlight is on him. People can't handle that spotlight.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't break him mentally because he is only a rookie. I hope he doesn't get the Nick Andersons and just can't catch a ball from here on out. I end up having to play corner. Tampa needs a corner, homie. Come on over. You're fast.
Yeah. Don't get the Chuck Knoblaws.
Yeah. So, nice. Sorry to say, but your B squad looked terrible. That game sucked.
Yes, man. Seattle, I don't know what happened. They just didn't show up.
At all.
Jamal Adams is completely damaged. Fingers broken, torn ligaments, all kinds of things wrong with him. They shouldn't even had him in the game.
Because he wasn't his aggressive self. You could tell. He licking anybody. You know what I mean? Normally he come up and lick people.
Yeah, he's a vital piece of that defense. So
and you saw what Andy looked like. It reverted to the tissue paper they were earlier in the season.
Yeah, nice. They let Cam Akers get off for about 175 total yards. With a quarterback who your starting quarterback goes out, who's actually your backup, who's actually your third string. And then you put Goff in, who's a week off of thumb surgery, and you still couldn't. I don't know. It's not even. You got to give credit to Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey because Jalen Ramsey DK got some garbage time catches and a touchdown and two on him, but it didn't matter at that point.
They were playing zone by then.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter at that point. But that guy it's over for you. If you're a big receiver, you're not going anywhere. So it's like, if the Rams play Kansas City, then he's going to switch to Kelsey because he's too big for Tyreek. Tyreek would just run right past him. Yeah. So he's so big, he actually has to play somebody big.
Yeah, Williams will probably be shadowing Tyreek.
Yeah, no, Williams played well all year, though. I give that kid credit.
Williams played really well.
Plus, I mean, you already know, Nice, that if Jalen Ramsey's on the other side, then that means you're getting targeted. Like, they're coming at you, and he answered the call all year. You got to give that kid credit.
Yeah, he definitely did. And like I said, Seattle, like, they just wasn't in it. They I don't know what happened. They just kind of like was looking forward to next season, the way how they were playing. It wasn't any kind of spark. It wasn't anything happening.
That old line got 0.
It's like everybody just kind of gave
Ross
up.
running for his life all game. Like, yeah.
It's like everybody just kind of gave up and like, let's regroup for next season.
Yeah, Nice. I think you're right. I think they look at, because you look at even in the playoff teams, especially the wild card round, there's like the teams that are left now, and then all the teams that lost, you were like, yeah, they weren't really that good, except Tennessee. You know, you're just like, they just ran into a team in Baltimore who is white hot right now.
Yeah.
And healthy. Hollywood Brown is back in full effect. You got Dez out there, and now they've also got Boykin. Miles Boykin has been contributing, and then that's Willie Snead. Now you've got 4, and then Mark Andrews has become one of his favorite target. So and then now J.K. Dobbins has emerged so much that Mark Ingram is not even a factor anymore.
Not even playing.
Doesn't even play. So look at
us.
Their team has gotten hot at the right time now. That Marshall Yonda injury does still looms large, but you have to think that it happened so early on that they've kind of adjusted to life without Marshall Yonda.
And also on the Tennessee side, we really got to see the effect of them not having Taylor Lewan, because that Baltimore defensive line just kept pushing back, and King Henry couldn't really do shit. And also, Corey Davis got hurt in the fourth in that critical play where you had the backup in. He slipped on that route that allowed Marcus Peters to pick it off, because that was going to be a first down.
Yeah, so Nice. I was going to ask both you guys about it, because I had Corey Davis was the key to me not winning a bunch of money in fantasy this week. That was the one thing I was off on. I kind of I stayed away from Henry. I kind of figured that out with Lewan being out, and they were just going to focus on that and be like, here, you got to beat us. We have 2 really good corners in Humphrey and Peters, so we can match up with your guys, kind of, you know. And then you're even going into the fourth quarter, Nice. Corey Davis, 0 catches on 2 targets, 0 yards. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this guy? Is he hurt? And I'm looking at my fantasy roster thing, and there's no orange circle around him. I'm like, no, he's healthy. So
I don't know what happened, right? I don't know what happened with Corey Davis, because a lot of plays, he wasn't even out there. He was really on the sideline.
He had his helmet off for a long stretch in the third quarter. I was like, what's going on with this guy? And then it wasn't like they weren't targeted Marlon Humphrey, because when Corey Davis went out, they were trying to throw it to that guy I've never even heard of before.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened with him. I haven't heard anything post-game or what the scenario was with him, but it looked like something happened either last week that they didn't really talk about, or something happened during the week, because he, from the get-go, just looked like he wasn't fully there. And it looked like they just kind of put him out there as a distraction, which I had a playoff game my senior year in high school, the first round. I had a migraine. I just said, yo, nobody knows, so they don't know. So if I'm out there, just don't throw me the fucking ball. They're going to have to cover me and count for it anyway. It'd be like if Tyreek Hill has a migraine and nobody knows. You still have to cover him.
Yeah.
So
just like they did with Terrell Davis when he had a migraine during the Super Bowl. He was like, just put me out there.
Yeah. They have to account for me at least. You know, so yeah, I don't know what was going on with him, but that just allowed Baltimore, once he was a non-factor, to just pin their ears forward, and they just came forward the entire time. A.J. Brown, you're not going to beat us by yourself, and he didn't.
But he did get open on that critical third down that Marcus Peters picked up. He was open, and that was, I mean, Tannehill, as a quarterback, you're not going to see every open guy, different plays, but that was crucial.
Especially right carrying
Brown, then looking at
Nice. You also know that by the third and especially the fourth quarter, and now we're talking a playoff game.
Yeah.
when you're dropping back to pass, the accumulation of the hits that you've taken, the hurries and the pressures that you've taken the whole rest of the game now has your clock running a little bit quicker, and your opportunity to even see these people, that window is closing a little bit more just because you're just like, it's been happening all goddamn game. So that's
Calais Campbell is 6'8", 300 pounds.
Yeah, it makes it hard to throw over top of that guy.
Yeah.
I don't want him landing on you.
Yeah, man. So it was just a couple of mishaps.
Dice, I thought it was an easy game to pick because you looked at Baltimore. They had that look that Cleveland had in their face. Baltimore wanted revenge for the last year's knockout. That wasn't supposed to happen last year. They were pissed.
And also Action Jackson needed a playoff win, so they was gonna get that for him.
And he played great.
He played great and nice. It was against a quality program and a quality playoff team that had made a run to the AFC title last year, so it wasn't like it was against a team that was 8-8 that snuck in.
Even the head coach, the Titans head coach, said, "Listen, he's a great player. He's great for our game, and we just have to figure out how to be better against him."
I mean, John Harbaugh was a little bit too effusive in his praise. He said that's the greatest run I've ever seen by a quarterback.
When he went down?
Yeah, calm. No, the one, that 45-yard touchdown. Come on, do you not remember Michael Vick in the playoffs against the Vikings? Come on, John Harbaugh. Steve Young in the playoffs with the tornado run.
Kaepernick versus Green Bay.
The entire game.
Yeah. He's got to for his guy.
Of course, but come on, dude. Don't disrespect the legendary moments in football like that. It was dope. He ran through a couple people. He's fucking Lamar Jackson. I've seen him have runs where he does 180s at full speed that were more impressive than that shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
Because that spin move goes at full speed.
Which was that was one of the illest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, okay, he belongs. He belongs. He might not have the arm, the accuracy to play that type, but he could just do that. Michael Vick did that, and it worked.
Sure did. Michael Vick had more of a gun, though. He had a cannon.
Michael Vick had a legendary arm, and as time goes by, only us pure football heads will truly appreciate Michael Vick's actual talent on the field.
And he could throw it with his right. He was a lefty, but he could also do the same thing with his right.
It's still that throwing motion, though. Dave, what up, man? That.
Mm-hmm.
No one else has ever had that with that much power. Other players have that, and you can't just get that much force behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Effortless. It was like Warren Moon, but with a half throw. Ooh.
With a half, because Warren gave you a full motion.
So speaking of the full motion, man, one of the things I've always liked about Baker Mayfield, and he had it on full display, and not the accuracy, was his release point is all the way up here.
Oh, yeah.
It's all the way. He might only be, and you see it nice. You see it whenever he makes it. He's doing the Doug Flutie. He makes a throw, and then he jumps so he can see if it's completed because he can't see over the fucking lineman.
Yeah.
And that's also like, I'll put that shit on the button. And he's like, oh, I did it. Is he going to catch it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of putting one on the button, that New Orleans-Chicago game was ugly playoff football. Why did that? Why? And not even on money-making Mitch. He threw that pass he had that Mims dropped in the end zone.
Oh, my God.
Not only was it perfect, Mitch was running this way, so he had to stop and re-square and throw while he's moving, and it was perfect.
So that's why Mitch is like, so see, when I throw it right, you don't catch it. So why should I do shit right?
Well, you could see the look in his face after that, confidence gone. No matter what I do, it's not going to work. This game's over.
It was appropriate that Nickelodeon was covering that. Slime and shit everywhere. It was appropriate.
Man.
Yeah, so I mean,
Chicago need more weapons. They need more receivers.
Nice. You gotta watch the.
Is good, but
that rookie that we like, Carey, Malloy, whatever his name is, Mallory or whatever.
Yeah.
He was out, and then Anthony Miller got ejected for fucking taking a swing at somebody.
But then who did he take a swing at? That same corner that everybody punches in the face because he gets under your skin.
He's the new Cortland Finnegan, man.
Just say the new Cortland Finnegan.
That's nicest guy, Cortland Finnegan. Nice loves Cortland Finnegan.
Not like that.
Yo, so yo, I like Cortland Finnegan though, man. He was going to make the whoever receivers he's covering. You're gonna have to work for that shit, dude. You are working for that.
Yeah, Andre Johnson had to put them hands on him to let him know.
Perfect transition into this thought. Andre Johnson came out and supported Deshaun Watson this week because Deshaun Watson said, "Yo, I want the fuck out because y'all were supposed to tell me that at least who you were considering, and they even hired a firm." Right. And then the firm recommended these two candidates, and they went, "Oh, wait a minute, Casario's available now? No, we want him, Nick Caserio. We want anything Patriots. We want all that. That worked so well with Bill O'Brien. We want and Romeo Crennel. We want all of that shit. Give us all of that, right?" So that pisses Deshaun off even more, and he's just like, "Yo, I want out." So then Andre Johnson comes out and says, no, he's right. They fucking suck."
Andre normally shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's so significant. That guy says nothing at all times. So when he beat up Cortland Finnegan, it was just like, well, damn, what did Cortland say to him?
Exactly. Yeah.
And
so you can see a scenario where you have no J.J. Watt, no Deshaun Watson, you have no Texans.
Well, no, see, this is a perfect chance to rebuild because if you can package Deshaun Watson and get Tua plus 2 number ones, a number 2, a 3, and something in the future, or because of the draft capital that Miami has, you could actually get 3 number ones from them and Deshaun Watson and Tua. So you have a quarterback under a rookie contract. You also get multiple number ones, 2s, all the draft capital that Billy O'Stooge gave away.
So you're saying for Houston to go ahead and repay Miami for the Laramie Tunsil?
Repay them and just do the rebuild, man. They need to bring in just start all over because you're right. There's no way that J.J. Watt stayed. His salary is way too big. He doesn't want to fuck with it no more. It's time to go try to win a title somewhere. Go to Green Bay, homie, or somewhere where they're chasing rings. Go somewhere effective. Tennessee, Baltimore, any of those places would be amazing for you. You know, Deshaun, just let him go. What are you going to rebuild with Deshaun Watson? Why would you do that?
He's not happy. So
he's not happy, and you could get multiple ones for him. This is like a Herschel Walker opportunity.
You know where he would probably love to play for? He would probably love to go to Indianapolis.
Yeah, I was thinking of that, but he has a connection in Miami already, and they've already said that he's like.
He's into Miami right now.
He's into Miami. Another thing that they were possibly thinking about is if they possibly swung it. There's 2 other destinations. Atlanta, get Matt Ryan out of there, and then him going to Atlanta, which I could see him going down to Hotland and being the new Michael Vick and shit. I could see that. He would definitely thrive down there. Yep. The other one is that he's always got his hoodie in the game somehow.
Yeah, the fact.
I said Indiana for 2 reasons. Obviously, they got the defense and they have offensive weapons. Plus, you can get to play the Texans twice a year and show them how they fucked up.
Yeah,
that's why I don't think the Texans would do the deal.
Yeah, but it's only the draft. If you can get 3 number ones, you got to do it. Where else are you ever going to get that? And plus, something interesting that they said. You have to think of Miami. All right, when are they ever going to be with the team that they've built with Brian Flores and that team? They're not going to be this high up in the draft because they have Houston's picks. This shit isn't going to happen for them for a while. So they now have a chance to, with that capital, get rid of Tua and go get a quarterback that they want. And if they don't have one, why wouldn't you go get Deshaun? It's Deshaun Watson, everybody.
Yeah. Like
that boy real good.
Almost every team in the league should be on board to try to get him. Right?
Honestly, there's like 5 teams that wouldn't. Right.
Yeah. Well, the teams that got that already established with a quarterback, you don't need them. But every team that got a mid-level or a mediocre quarterback should be on this right now.
So he doesn't go to Philly or the Chocolate City Bigums. I'm all right.
Dude, I can only think of 3 teams in the NFL who wouldn't upgrade by taking Deshaun Watson. Tampa's not going to do it because you have Tom. You're not. That's the culture you're not going to upend. It's Aaron fucking Rodgers in Green Bay. That's never going to happen. The only other one's Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Every other team in the league would be an upgrade with him. I don't care who it is. Justin Herbert, there is way too much potential with that kid. You are keeping that guy.
Absolutely.
I say it all the time. He is my new guy.
He's my guy. I love that kid.
Dude, from game one, I was just like, wait a minute, this is different.
Yeah.
He didn't do that before.
And how long is it going to take for them to play him? Oh, right now. Okay, there it is.
Oh, wait a minute. Tyrod's in front of him. Just
so, thanks, Tyrod.
Well, see, so that goes to go. Now we got to circle back. So if the question is, if Tua goes to Houston, does Fitzmagic go with him and keep the band together?
That's hilarious.
Because he already played there.
Yeah. And they love him there.
They love him. Everyone loves him.
Yeah. Andre Johnson be like, I approve.
Yeah. Yeah, do you keep the band back together and bring him in? Like, I would. Why not?
Yeah, why not? He's a great mentor.
Yeah, no, that'd be dope, man. That'd be hilarious. And I actually want it to happen for Deshaun Watson because what LeBron James has done for the NBA and giving the players levity and leverage and power, the NFL players are starting to execute that power too.
Yeah.
And you guys know the NFL, above all other sports, the ownership had control way more than any other sport because there's so many people, it was impossible for one player to get so much leverage, right?
Yeah.
And not anymore. Not anymore. These players are making $100, $150, $200 million now. Now they have the power.
Yeah.
And look at it. Look what J.J. Watt said. Yo, Bill O'Brien, I'm tired of your shit. The next day, he's out of there.
On.
That's it.
J.J. Watt has spoken.
Yo, so nice. That's leaked out what he actually said. Like he just said, yo, Bill, I'm tired of your fucking shit.
Love it. On.
Enough said. Simple man of few words. I love every second of it.
Like you don't trade D Hop. Blank. Period.
What?
You traded him for a half a bag of Doritos and half a Lucy.
I mean, a half a churro from San Antonio that somebody brought. Yo, so nice. You look like you're on the move, so I'm gonna let you go because I'm about to shut this down and reopen it up for the second half. So I appreciate your time, homie. Enjoy dinner and whatnot. Stay safe out there. We'll be in touch. And then everybody, whenever we come back on the flip side, we will have a special guest, a friend of the community, will be joining us to talk about what happened with his squad, Ohio State, last night. So I'll be right back. Nice. You already know, homie.
You already
know what it is.
All right, so let me open up a new Zoom and everybody take a little break, and it's time to roll the fuck up. I appreciate Nice coming through. That's a busy man. But that's the beauty of the internet and Zoom, is he can literally take that call from on his way to dinner and not have to be in some studio somewhere. So I fucks with the new wave and the new technology. I'm with it. So, Roger Harper, I am sending you the Zoom link for the second half of the show, and I'm about to roll the fuck up while we wait for Carrie to pop back in. So, always good to see Nice, man. Flea, you already know. Nice is Nice is the funniest football analyst in America. Everybody is nicest guy until you're not nicest guy. But as we were saying, Justin Herbert, that's my guy. That's everybody's guy. Everybody who knows football, the second you saw him on an NFL field, you're like, oh, wait a minute, he's got it. You knew it instantly, and that's the thing. You can see it at the collegiate level, and even with him, you didn't really see it like that, and that's scheme. That's the fault of the coaching and the scheme that he was in to not utilize his strengths and abilities. They tried to make him fit their scheme, which is fucking stupid. And welcome back, my guy, Kerry Height. So I was just saying, with Justin Herbert, he was in a bad scheme in college that did not utilize his skill set at all. So you didn't see that. So with every quarterback
game where he rushed for 3 touchdowns, you really got to see his full package.
Yeah, you got to look at, so with any collegiate quarterback, any rookie that comes in, or whenever the rookie, a player, second, third year, gets their shot to play quarterback in the NFL, no matter what they've done before, you always have to wait and be like, yeah, but can they do it here? Because here's way different. Like, it's way different. And on game 1, you were like, oh, wait a minute, what? Instantly. There was no lack in timing. No, he wasn't overwhelmed by things. It was, the information was processed at the proper speed. Physically, he was able to take it. I was just like, oh, my God, this kid. That's
great footwork, keeps his shoulders square.
Everything fundamentally sound, perfectly done. It made me, it's how I felt about Carson Wentz when I saw him his rookie year before he got too full of himself. Because Carson Wentz, when he was early in his career, looked MVP caliber play. He was incredible.
He was head and shoulders and feet above Jared Goff. He made Jared Goff look like a bust.
Yeah.
And Goff went to a Super Bowl before Wentz. Yeah, but Wentz could have easily gone. But, Wentz's team won before Goff's. And, yes, Wentz a champion? Sure, he has a ring. But so does Adam Morrison. Addison Morrison has 2 rings. Thank you, Kobe. Yeah,
but Carson Wentz, you could see it in the way he has handled himself throughout this season especially, that later on down the line, he's the type of person who's going to tell people about how he was a Super Bowl champion and show them the ring.
Sure. Yeah. Even though he ain't do it. Yeah.
And then eventually, I'm shitting on Carson Wentz right now. Eventually, he's going to tell people that statue outside of the link is him.
He's probably going to start looking like that real soon. That's the way he's playing.
Yeah, fuck you, Carson Wentz. And I'm not even an NFC fan of any sorts whatsoever, so he could say fuck you because he's a Giants fan. I say fuck you because I hate what you've done with your career, you idiot.
Yeah, man, because you really had it all in front of you.
Oh my God, did you ever?
But also, as we see this and we see what kind of effort the Colts put forward with Philly Rivers, now we were thinking like Indianapolis would be a good spot for him. Now Frank Reich is like, I want Phil Rivers back again.
Yeah.
Give me that guy again. So they're not even looking in the Wentz direction, which if I'm Wentz, I need to try to figure out how I stay in Philadelphia, how I get my job back from Jalen Hurts.
Well, since Peterson is now gone, it looks like they've swung the pendulum towards Wentz anyway. So Wentz now has that opportunity because they did give him $100 and some million, and I can guarantee you when they made phone calls, there was not a single person who was just like, yeah, I want that.
No takers.
So now Doug Peterson was probably just like, yo, fuck this shit, I'm out of here. And that's what happened. And now they move on. And the NFL coaching carousel is even more brutal than it ever was because you literally can only, sometimes you get 1 year. Which is, dude, that's fucking amazing.
Crazy. I know, that makes no sense. But I will say this, because a head coach doesn't get 2 meetings with the owner unless, so it looks like that Jeffrey Lurie was willing to keep Peterson, but he had to make them play nice with Wentz. They needed to come to some sort of accord, and Peterson was probably...
It was just like, listen, man, you're going to do what the fuck I tell you to do, and that's the only way you're going to keep your job. We're keeping Carson, blah, blah, blah. And he said, fuck this shit, I'm out of here. And now they're off to search for the next coach in Philly.
Well, Peterson's already getting tapped up. Someone's going to snatch him up, Listen, you don't win a chip in the league by accident unless you inherit someone's team that was already going to win a chip. John Gruden and what's his name? Barry, the one who took over for Jimmy Johnson.
Barry Switzer.
Yeah. Unless you're one of those 2 guys who just inherited Super Bowl championship teams already. Yeah, you don't trip into a Super Bowl victory. So, he's a champ no matter what.
All right, so Tampa and Washington and the Chocolate City Bigums, everything went exactly as expected. literally, except I don't think any of us saw Taylor Heinicke getting busy.
And your man Heineken, man, touchdown pass he threw in the corner of the end zone to Sims. That was impressive.
Well, we went over his numbers last week because we were like, oh, who the fuck is this kid? So I'm like, fuck it. I'm on the internet. Let's look it up. And then we saw, oh, wait a minute. He had like 15,000 fucking yards at Old Dominion. Okay. We just didn't know. It's much like Chad Pennington. Go win a bunch on the beer tea level and then the BT level, tier level, and then step up for your senior year. Everyone sees, oh, you could still play because that's what Pennington did in Marshall. You got to remember, Marshall was 1 AA during the Randy Moss era. They were just winning titles down there left and right. And then they're like, you guys are too fucking good. Look, you got to get out of here. Randy Moss, you fucking kidding me? Get out of here.
And the Chad.
Yeah, and you got Chad. And this is pre-shoulder injury Chad Pennington, so he could sling it back then.
Oh, yeah, he was accurate as shit. And it didn't turn it over in the green zone.
Nah, ever. So that same thing happened with him. So this Tyler Heineken was getting busy, and he just won himself a job in the NFL.
Yeah, my cousin, who's a diehard Chocolate City Bigums fan, he's like, this kid better be in the quarterback competition. But I was like, competition with who? Who? I mean, who we looking at? Alex Smith, who may well retire. He says he has to think some shit over, which means he has to talk to his wife, and his wife is going to be like, sit your ass at home.
Well, honestly, Kerry, do you think he should really come back? You did it. You made it back. You started, and you were winning games, and you proved it to everyone. There's no need to do it again.
Not need to do it again, my friend. You sit down, please.
Yeah.
Be able to walk and play with your kids.
Yeah, dude, you did it, man. No one on the planet thought that what you did was possible. That was even worse than the Adrian Peterson leg situation.
That shit was crazy. You have nothing.
You almost died, homie. Like
you could have also just lost your leg, but you almost died. You had 17 operations, son. Sit it down. You can walk and you can play with your kids. You've won.
Yeah.
You're at life.
You have won the respect of everyone.
You see, Dewey Haskins is having a hell of a time trying to find a job. Ain't too many takers on him right now.
There won't be. Yo, Flea, I'm on it, man. I told you there's internet issues in Brooklyn. I'm constantly... If you look at the other sports shows that I watch, they have an entire team with people who do everything, and I kind of do everything at once by myself. But, honestly, it needs to be like this. So that's just how my brain works. I have to do it all, but I'm on it. I'm constantly switching between Wi-Fi and a hardwired in to see which one will go faster. But we didn't lose you in audio, so we still heard every word you said. That's the most important thing. So Dewey Haskins, it's over for him. There's too many. Look, old Tyler Heinicke just came out of Old Dominion. There's too much talent out there, especially now, Kerry. You're looking at high school quarterbacks who have run pro-style offenses their entire lives. There's no shock getting in the NFL and not understanding the offense. You're like, well, I've seen this already. I've been running this my whole fucking life. This is not a big deal. So Tyler Heinicke is a perfect example. Why the fuck do you need to worry about this first round Dewey Haskins, who clearly doesn't care about football, when we can find people from Old Dominion who can ball and who are cheap because he was undrafted. So he didn't cost me nothing. So Dewey Haskins just played himself right into the XFL. Is what happened.
Well, they don't even exist anymore. I mean, he's only, what is he? He's still young. I mean, Haskins is young. He's under 25. He has maturity issues, but I mean, he does have arm talent. He just has slow arm action like Byron Leftwich, but Byron Leftwich was a baller and a student of the game.
An effective offensive coordinator now. You can see he's able to process the information enough to make up for that if I'm throwing from my hip pocket.
Exactly.
Not every time, though, because he got blasted many, many, many times.
Action was just too slow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Haskins can shorten that arm action, I saw him make some really good throws this year, but, he's not a student of the game, and you can tell he doesn't do his film study. And he just relies on talent that he had in high school, which is just not going to be enough. He played 1 year collegiate ball, yes, for Ohio State, but as we said, Ohio State gets 5-star blue chippers all the time. anyone can look good, but that's why they don't. The quarterbacks rarely translate into players on the next level. Justin Fields will be an outlier, but he started at Georgia, so different. But Haskins just needs to do exactly what Crab Legs Winston is doing right now. Sit on somebody's bench, learn, get in that film room with someone who is an absolute baller at quarterback, and see what that looks like. So if he can, if a organization can get him in the room and have him sit down and just hold a clipboard, that would do wonders for his career down the line. Just be a backup.
Well, right? The question I have for you is, have you ever seen any on-field performance that warrants continued opportunities for somebody that A, doesn't have it mentally, and B, looks like he almost doesn't even want to be there? That's the thing. Like, if you have the on-field talent, they'll, Jay Cutler lasted 15 years in the league because he had the talent to perform, even though everyone knew he didn't give a fuck. He didn't want to be there. Yeah. But he could still absolutely sling that shit.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. And, when he was on, man, you were winning football games. Mm-hmm. So, but I just don't see it from Haskins. He makes a couple throws. Whatever. That's like saying somebody gets a shot on the court in the NBA and they hit a couple jumpers. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you deserve to be there.
Right.
So I just don't see it with him and Tyler, Chip, Chad, whatever his name is, Heineken. He just took your gerb, and he deserves it with the way he played. That dive from the 4-yard line showed more effort in one play than I've seen Haskins' entire career.
Absolutely.
And that is terrible.
I saw Haskins throw dollar bills with more fervor than I saw him throw NFL passes. So he was like, let's get it.
Let's go.
Yeah, so go to Hot Atlanta. They got plenty of strip clubs down there.
Yeah, bro.
Everything is open.
Oh, man. Yeah, Tampa looked like Tampa, so just to be expected for them. Let's see. Well, we talked about every other game, so let's talk about what's coming up this week, because it's everybody who watches NFL football. It's your favorite week of NFL football, because it's just, you're talking about high-quality football with singular focus on one game at a time, no distractions, everything is all in.
And I so hope Rona leaves these last few weeks alone. Rona, give us a fucking break here. We need a few Rona-less weeks and let all these players be able to play. That's all I'm asking for. You know what I'm saying? Let whatever regular injuries happen, they happen. But Rona taking players out, man, it really swings the whole dynamic of a team. Imagine the Cleveland Browns without their 4 receivers versus the Steelers. Come on, there's just no way. And they were already playing with a makeshift line. Baker said, "Yeah, I just met one of my linemen in the locker room today."
That shit was hilarious.
How crazy is that? And we got to look at Conklin. Hopefully Jack Conklin can come back. All-pro Jack Conklin can come back and play because, they need their line. One of the best parts of their components of their team. So, yeah, we just hope we could get a couple of Rona-less weeks, and we're off to the races.
All right, so first game on Saturday. They really backloaded the Sunday's matchups. Usually they split it up and make it the evening games are both dope.
Right.
I mean, Baltimore and Buffalo, don't get me wrong, super dope. And it's divisional football. It doesn't matter. But the first game is easily the least anticipated because of LA's quarterback scenario. You're looking at a team that's literally limping into the divisional round, which sucks. We hate to see shit like that.
I'm least excited by LA.
I mean, the only thing that's dope about that game is you now have Jalen Ramsey, Devontae Adams are going to be going at it.
That is true.
And Aaron Donald pushing the pocket up the middle with Devontae not being your first option on almost all plays. So that's the only thing.
I mean, if he's healthy, hurt.
Yeah,
I suspect he will play, no question, but he will be diminished in some way.
Of course, he can't. That's you got like a torn. Check your spam, Roger. It might be in there. It's like a torn fucking cartilage or something like that. It's all that leverage is gone off that one. I don't care how many shots you take, but it will still be fun. And then I will literally be, as a former receiver and college corner, I'm locked in on Ramsey and Adams going at it. That is going to be incredible. You're looking at the best corner and the best receiver in football one-on-one the entire game. And if they have anybody else cover Devontae Adams on any play, Sean McVay should be fucking fired. You're stupid.
Correct.
I don't care how good Williams is playing. Don't do that to your team.
I'm looking for Scandalous to get busy.
Yeah.
Because he's fast.
He's fast, and that Williams is kind of short, so...
Yeah. And then also, we may see a reemergence of Lazard. 6'5". And I would have to think by now he's over his core injury.
Well, not only that, Big Bob.
I'm about to say, let's not forget about Tunyon. Let's not forget about him.
Big Bob running Tunyon, man. 11 touchdowns. You don't get 11 touchdowns in the NFL season. It just does. Yeah, you're dope, dude.
Loves him, so he will get in that.
Well, it kind of sucks because we're so used to 1:00 kickoffs. So the divisional rounds this year, usually they have the one on Sunday, and they moved them back. So it's 4:00 on Saturday and 8, and then on Sunday it's 3 and 7. So a little bit later, but it makes for compelling evening viewing. So I'm with it. I definitely look for Green Bay to still get this game, though. It's in Green Bay. Jared Goff, even if he starts, I think has never played in cold weather. It's supposed to be 12 degrees or something.
Plus, those pins get cold in that thumb, my friend. You got metal in your hands, buddy.
Oh, and joining us now is a friend of the community, former second-round draft pick of the Atlanta Falcons, and former Ohio State Buckeye, Roger Harper, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, my homie. What up, son?
What's up?
There he goes.
What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, you gotta turn your YouTube. Turn it down so we don't loop the audio.
Yeah, you gotta turn your YouTube. Yeah, turn it down so we.
Yeah, turn that down because we're just caught in an audio loop.
Hey, you got that sweet pandemic beard flowing. I see you. Take yourself off mute.
Yeah, now you gotta. I muted it so we wouldn't be going to the audio.
I'll mute the
There
Zoom.
we go.
There we go. What up, homie? So, yeah, you're gonna have to mute your TV or whatever.
I ain't have a haircut since pandemic started, for real.
Man, you see, I'm do-ragged up all day, every day.
Word, homie. So, as a former Ohio State Buckeye, what do you think about last night?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There's no better person to talk about last night's game than a former Ohio State Buckeye.
There's no better person to talk about last night's game than a former Ohio State Buckeye.
I got too much shit going on.
There's no better person to talk about.
We are having some. This is our first. Every single time somebody comes in for the first time, there's always, you got to figure it out. It always happens. Yeah. Woo.
Okay, well, unmute your Zoom, but turn down your whatever you got.
There we go. I got you there. I got you there, Kerry.
Bang! There it is.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Joe, you hear me?
Yeah, no, we're good now. We're good. I was just waiting to hear Carrie on repeat. So anyway, welcome, homie.
Thank you.
Welcome to Gray Matter, which I hope is not a one-time thing, man. I will invite you to join us anytime because, as I told you during the Dower Hour, I talk to football about very few people, and as a matter of fact, the two of them that I talk to football the most about are both on this show. And dude,
you know a lot of information though, man. You good. You know a lot of shit.
Yeah, thank you, man. Me and Carrie, we really, well, Carrie played at Houston. So, he's definitely a football fanatic himself, and played some semi-pro ball. And then you know my history, but I've always the way that my brain works and the way that football works just kind of seemed to be cohesive. There's a lot of moving parts going on, a lot of moving things. I'm able to pay attention to a lot of things going on at the same time and process it.
For sure. I'm glad to be a part of the show, man. Thanks for having me on.
Man, I appreciate it, man. So what do you think about last night?
Hats go off to Alabama, running back, receiver for sure. Smith, he did his thing. I can't be mad. Number 24, that's what number I wore for Ohio State, but number 24, Wade, he should have been selling wolf tickets. He's talking shit, talking about what he's going to do. But the funniest shit was when Desmond Howard said that after this game, number 24 for Ohio State would be a free agent. And I wasn't surprised at the game last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Alabama team, Roger, that is some grown men out there. That's an NFL caliber squad that's just not old enough to be in the NFL. That's all that is.
And I was saying earlier that Najee Smith, the running back for Alabama, he didn't get. I mean, because Devonta Smith had a crazy season that Najee Harris got overlooked, but he's the best running back in the country.
Yes, he is. He's definitely stocked his stock up for the draft. I'm sure he'll be a first-round pick.
Well, you think the thing with that Alabama roster is they came back to do what they just did.
Yeah.
Smith and Najee Harris, and there's a lineman and always somebody on defense that could have been first-round draft picks last year.
Waddell also.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle, and they said, "Now we're going to come back and do what they did," which also goes to show you of the focus that they have and the type of program that Nick Saban is running down there, which is why everybody who goes there just ends up in the NFL, which is why they all go there. I want to go to the NFL. I'm going to go there. But, Roger, you guys have that program of the Midwest. Ohio State is literally just 5-star recruits from the Rust Belt, the entire roster. It's incredible.
Backs and defensive backfield and linebackers, but now, as of late, defensive ends.
Defensive ends galore.
Definitely defensive ends. At one point in time in Ohio State history, Ohio State was DB University. We see a lot of guys in the NFL.
Sean Springs, baby.
Obviously.
Sean Springs wore 24 after me. Them cats had a fight over number 24 after I left. Sean Springs got it. And that's a good friend of mine, and he had a great NFL career.
Yeah, man, I love Sean Springs. There were very few Ohio State players that I liked before I met you. Sean Springs, because it was Sean Springs, for Christ's sakes, and Joey Galloway, because it's Joey Galloway, man. He went to Bel Air High School. That's right across the river from where I grew up. So.
Oh yeah. Joey played. I played. Go ahead, Kerry.
I was gonna say I got to give a shout out to Orlando Pace.
Oh yeah, well,
as a lineman, he was the only lineman I saw get Heisman considerations at that time ever. So I got to give a shout out to him.
That's Hall of Famer right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, setting the pace.
The pancake man.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's always, when you're getting that type of talent at all the time, there's always going to be players who are incredible. And it's just, as a West Virginia native, it's kind of hard to like Ohio people. That's just plus, we're children of the 80s, man. We had those rivalries meant something.
Oh yeah.
We still carry that with us. You saw what just happened with Cleveland and Pittsburgh. They still carry that.
Yeah. And I would have to think that as a Buckeye, you're laughing at what happened to the Wolverines this past season. But I mean, Harbaugh's getting passed apparently, so he could come back and
Yeah, for half his salary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he needs to go ahead and find a new team or retire, because Ohio State definitely has his number.
Oh.
Yeah, so what do you think about Justin Fields? What do you think is going to happen with this guy now?
I think he'll definitely be a first-round pick. Like you said, it depends on his combine and the kid from Clemson. That'll be a good 1-2 first, second. Either choice, they should be good. Any team that picks them. I heard New England with the 15th pick with Justin Fields. That's what I heard.
I don't think he would last that long, but I think New England does have some draft capital, and I could see them moving up. I could see that happening. We'll see. Like I was talking to you, Roger, I wanted to see him really ball out so that there was this huge debate on Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, and now there is no debate. Jacksonville's taking Trevor Lawrence. It's just, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, but also Justin really did show his grit when he got his ribs rocked, and he still threw 6 touchdowns against a tough Clemson team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and you know, it was going to be tough sledding him being 100% healthy going against that Alabama team. I mean, but he still showed up, and you know, his number one running back got knocked out in the first quarter. I mean, it was tough sledding.
First play.
Yeah, and then Ohio State's defense. I mean, they just couldn't hold up.
Nah, definitely couldn't.
Yeah, Roger, I hit Kerry when Alabama started to make a run, and I told him, I was like, is Ohio State going to injure themselves back into this game? Because Alabama just started, all their top players just started going down left and right. Devontae Smith broke his thumb or whatever. That was gruesome. Mac Jones is terrible. All he does is put his receivers in places to get destroyed. He's terrible. He's going to be a terrible NFL quarterback. His receivers were getting blown up last night. That one running back, the backup running back, not Najee Harris.
Oh, number 4.
Dude, he caught the pass on his ear.
Yeah.
Robin. Come on, man. Mac Jones is not it, especially with that much talent around him. But then Waddle, who already had an ankle injury, he goes out because they're up 21. He's like, fuck this shit, I'm out. And then me and Kerry are talking. It was just like, yeah, whatever. They'll get the mascot can come off. He was probably a 4-star recruit who didn't get to play.
In the stands who were 4 stars.
Yeah.
You can suit them up real quick. Give me a jock strap, coach. I'm ready.
Yeah, but then you have to look at Ohio State. The injury bug was just hitting them, too. They just could not. College football, you saw it on the field, especially in the championship. There was an active attrition this year without Ohio State played 7 games this whole season.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that was a disadvantage right there. Not getting enough games, not getting enough reps, not getting those enough challenges to test their manhood or their skill against the more challenged Alabama team with 11, 12 games.
They played 12 games, and then also, they had different state rules. So Alabama is allowed to have practice and whatnot because they're down south and they don't care about the Roni. And then Ohio's all Zoom meetings, so Ohio State's not even having actual practice and shit.
Right. Exactly. But I mean, and also you have to remember, Justin Fields is the one who got the Big Ten to even play again. Because he threatened to sue everybody.
Well, him and General Bob Carpenter.
Even had a seat.
General Bob Carpenter had a big hand in that too, Kerry.
Yeah, no doubt.
Bobby Carpenter did. Ex-Ohio State Buckeye waged a war against the NCAA to get the Big Ten back. He was just like, listen, man, everyone else is playing.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I will say, I do like Ryan Day, the head coach for Ohio State. The program's in good hands with him as the head coach. I do like.
You're exactly right, Kerry. He's a coach he come through time in and time out, makes good calls, good offensive coordinator. I mean, when Myers went out last year during that 6-game period, and Dave did his thing, and that's why he's the head coach now. His coaching speaks for itself.
Well, that's good that he's kind of turning the social tide of the position of being a coach at Ohio State, because for the longest time, the coach at Ohio State was like a supervillain.
Yeah.
It started with Woody Hayes when he punched that dude in the throat.
Oh, man.
Woody Hayes, old legend. Against Clemson,
Against Clemson, he punched a player in the throat on the field. Woody was 70 years old. What are you doing out there, dude?
Never be another coach like Woody Hayes.
Yeah, you had Woody Hayes, and then you had Jim Tressel. Everyone hated the sweater vest. He looked like an evil genius with his perfect hair and his sweater vest out there and his tie, and they just always won everything. And I hated watching their offense. And
Mr. Rogers of the Big Ten.
Yeah, he definitely was Mr. Rogers.
What do you mean?
And then it went to Urban Meyer, which, if you're not an Urban Meyer fan, then you hate him. He's one of those guys. No matter where he's at, if you're not a fan of him, you just don't like him.
Well, now he's
Joe, I got stories. I got stories, Joe. When we get together, I got stories on Urban Meyer.
Oh, I love it.
He's a different kind of cat. You know, Trusser was a more ex-players coach than Urban Meyer was. To be straight up with you, you know what I'm saying? So. Well, I ain't gonna speak out loud on it, but when we get together one of these days, I'll share some stories with you.
I love it because I will trade Mob Deep stories for football stories at a high level any day, Hobie, because I got a million of them.
I got a few too myself.
Oh hell yeah! So, who's your NFL team?
Remember, I told you I was a Steeler fan growing up. Right now, I just watch players. I don't have a particular team. Since I made it to the NFL and played for 2 NFL teams, so I lost all those aspirations when I made it to the league.
Yeah, no, I know. I just for the people who are meeting you for the first time through watching football or football thing instead of just the open forum random nonsense where we might talk about pierogies and conspiracy theories in the same hour. I just want to give them a little history on who you are because that shit is fucking dope, man. That is dope. I have the utmost respect for anybody who can reach the highest level of any profession because I know what it takes to get there, especially football because not only is the mental and the competitive aspect of it, just the sheer physical aspect of being that top 1% of athletes playing that sport is incredible, dude.
Yes, it is. You know, just like yourself, a big producer, you know, you're able to touch people with your wisdom and your knowledge and how you put music together. You know, it's the same thing. You put a hard work, dedication, and you know, your work speaks for itself.
Man, I appreciate. Well, what advantage that I did have, Hobie, is I grew up on a farm, so we had to work. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But B, I grew up in West Virginia, right in between Pittsburgh, which is Western PA, and Ohio. So it's nothing but football. So once I dropped out of college and football was now a part of my past, and I got into the music industry, I took the same competitiveness right into it. Yeah.
Yeah, it carries you through.
Yeah, I was just like, yo, man, this is a competition. I'm here to win, which it is. And then I always just looked at it like, this is not work. I'm smoking blunts in the studio with rappers. This is not work. Waking up at 5 a.m. and running two miles and then working out and then, you know, all the shit and then going to class and then practicing and then...
Not 2 a day, 3 a day.
Yeah, like dedicating your life to a physical task and then just hoping that you survive, like you said. See, what they have to understand, you get injured and you're not a multi-year signee, see ya. We'll just find somebody else. There's a bunch of people.
I had a short career, man. I played 5 years. I broke my forearm twice, so my career was in it short.
Yes, but
I was first team All NFL rookie team, and I'm also still on the first team All Atlanta Falcons All NFL rookie team too.
You're goddamn right, he is, people.
Yeah. So you played with Brian Jordan, right?
No, I took his position. He left and played baseball.
That's right. That's when he left to go play baseball. That's right.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah.
But out of college, I was one of the first to leave Ohio State early as a junior. Myself, I don't know if you guys remember Alonzo Spellman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a whole crew of us that went to the league early. We were the first Ohio State class to leave as juniors. Mm-hmm. Myself, Alonzo Spellman, running back Robert Smith. You remember his name, don't you?
Oh, the good doctor.
You got it, Kerry. You want it. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
That's incredible, man. It's also that you filled his spot when he to go and went and played baseball, because now there's a little narrative behind all of it too, a little history and story that's intriguing and whatnot. That's awesome. That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, sure.
So
it's funny that you started in Atlanta, which really became Hot Atlanta, honestly, when Dion was there. But then you got a chance to play with Deion when you went to your next team, which was
the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys.
There it is.
Yeah, me and Deion are good friends. I'm the reason why I got to Dallas. He called me and told me to get my stuff together before the Falcons even called me and said they was out to trade me. Deion had called me on the phone, was like, look, we need you. Come on.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Well, but let me ask you this question. Is he now also calling you for those Subway commercials?
No, I have not talked to him since the Subway commercials.
Also, Roger, I did want to ask you about another phone call that he might have possibly hit you up with. Does he need a secondary coach?
I know that's right. Actually, he has a secondary coach, Terence Mathis, who was with the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, Terence Mathis.
Yeah, little Terence Mathis. Yeah, little fella, what we call him.
Dude, excellent
little
receiver.
fella. Yeah, he's a little guy, boy, big heart, you know?
Hell yeah.
It's all about heart. I met a lot of short guys. I was a tall guy in the NFL, but I met a lot of short guys who just got that heart and that intensity and just tenacity. Just they know how to do it. So, it ain't about the size. It's in the heart.
Well, also one thing that happens when you're shorter, especially when you make it to the NFL, they're all going to be strong and thick as fuck if you're short, is now you have the leverage.
The leverage.
You're already lower. You have the leverage, so.
Yep. I always had to play with my knees bent. I always had to remind myself because I was 6'3", tall, long arms, long legs.
I'm 6'3" too. Trust me, I know.
Oh yeah.
I had some short dudes trying to get up under me. And right here, your chin is exposed, homie. So if your head is not on the swivel, you don't have the knees bent, you will get knocked out.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Word. So, Roger, who do you like watching in the NFL?
Definitely like the cats from off of Kansas City, Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. Those guys is awesome. The tight end,
Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey. He's awesome. Running backs, probably the best running back. I like the kid from out of Henry. I like Henry a lot too. He's a monster. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's a giant human being.
Oh yeah, for sure. He slaps guys around crazy. Reminds me of Jerome Bettis. I used to go out against Jerome Bettis, and Jerome liked to slap and move.
Oh yeah,
stiff arm and all that. But
that's what people forget about him is his footwork, and he was more likely to try to avoid you because you thought he was going to try to run you over.
Exactly.
And
he was swift.
A 300 bowler.
Yeah. Yes, he was.
Fun fact.
So who's the hardest hit you ever laid on somebody in the league?
Now I told you I laid it to Jerry Rice, fumbled that thing out of bounds.
I'm talking about.
And I got that on film. I have to show you that.
You please do, because I told you I was already on YouTube trying to look up highlights and whatnot, and YouTube has purged like everything. There's so much new content they got to get rid of the old shit.
Okay, so did this happen when you were on Atlanta?
Yeah, when I was with Atlanta.
Yes.
Falcons, yeah.
Those Atlanta, San Francisco 49ers games back then were legendary.
Oh, yeah, you already know. With Dion and Andre Rise, and you remember that one.
Oh, Bad Moon Rising, hell yeah. Yeah. And then there was the other big receiver on the other side.
Michael Haynes.
There it is, Michael Haynes. Yep.
Yeah. We had some, we definitely have some.
Had some ballers, man.
But when you're in the pros, man, every team is good. Everybody's a professional. So, just some teams are better than others. But, any given Sunday, a sorry team could beat a good team. You seen it this year in the NFL? This year. So, even though it was a bubble year, COVID year and all that, it still happened.
All right, so for the viewers, I thought of this question earlier. I'm glad this third blunt had just shook it back into my mind, because right now this is 3 different levels of football achievement. Division II, from a small school in a little graduated with 60 people school in the mountains, like Division I over here, 6'3", semi-pro. D1 second round draft pick NFL. So, Roger, going from Ohio State to the NFL, what was the biggest shock to you? Was it the speed? What was it?
Definitely, I would say that the size of men and the speed and how fast the game was. Like I said, everybody's professionals, everybody's fast, everybody's big, and so I had to. When I came into the league, I had to get broken in by Craig Ironhead
Hayward.
They used to stick me right. I was a strong safety, so we had 9-on-7s. That's when you had all interior, all inside linemen, all that, and straight nothing but runs. And you talking about some headaches, headache after headache, going back and forth against Ironhead. Oof. They just tried to make you tough.
The 90s too, people would, if you got a concussion, you just kept going. Nobody knew. You didn't say anything.
That's spelled wrong. There was times I literally saw Tweety birds. That's not just cartoon shit. I literally saw some shit flying around my head. I was like,
"I'm talking about some stars. Them stars.
Yeah, them stars are real."
And they hit you with the pneumonia little packs.
Yeah.
Try to get you. Hey, like you said, next man up.
That's it.
Yes.
I mean, he's so damn tough. His son is tough as hell. Playing for the Steelers right now, Cam Hayward.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Ohio State boy. We got a lot of Ohio State boys in the league.
And who is regarded as the hardest hitter in the NFL right now.
Yep.
Not like highlight hits, but collision-wise is the hardest. It hurts the most when that man hits you. So, Kerry, jumping from high school football up to Division I Houston, what was the biggest change for you?
Well, I mean, I also ran track too, so I was cool on speed, but I came from New York, and we got zero respect. It was for football. It was like, oh, you don't play basketball? I was like, nah, I play football, yo. So I always had to prove myself. So, I mean, I always would have to, in my head, and back then, like you said, it was a different game. So I always hit high, way higher than I should have against dudes who were way bigger than me. But I always had some shit to prove. So, I remember in practice we had Hollywood, who was he was Georgia boy, 5'10", 230-pound fullback, and this dude was about the strongest country. He was already country strong, but then he was also weight room strong. And he's the type of dude who could knock your face mask off, feeling yourself, made a couple good plays, and then he got in the clear, got in the open, and it was one-on-one, and I was like, watch this. And then I went head up, and then it was like, oh, watch that. But it was a good lesson. You got sometimes, and I tell Joe this all the time, sometimes you just got to untie the shoelace. You got to just untie the shoelace. That's a good, smart decision.
All the time.
You just got to untie that shoelace. You don't have to always go for the monster hits. Untie the shoelace. It's still a tackle. I don't give a shit what anybody says. They down, right? They down.
Yeah.
And besides, what I did, I mean, because coming up, Dion was like, when you talk about so I was also 6'3" playing DB. Back then there weren't many 6'3" dudes playing the position like that.
Exactly.
So, I looked at Dion for his footwork and just his cover skills. So I was more so using speed, as that speed was my thing, and just I wasn't gonna let anybody outrun me. So I mean, while I did come up to hit, I mean, I wanted to like cover, and I tried to do what he did. He was the absolute best in disguising what the coverage was and trying to bait quarterbacks and then breaking. So I relied heavily on my break and speed, and that's how I just love to play the game. And then also when I played semi-pro, transitioning to safety, which I saw even suited me even better, because then I got to survey the field, and then being a constant student of the game, studying film, doing all that, getting to diagnose plays on the spot and calling out plays. Like, oh, this is what this is going to be. It's going to go to this cat right here. Get on him. So it just had more control of the game and just playing that cat and mouse with the quarterback. I mean, I love playing. I mean, I love playing corner, but corner was just that one-on-one machismo. At safety, I really felt like more in control of the game, where I had more influence over the game playing safety.
Well, for me personally, this speed was never an issue. Even in Division II, when I got there, I was usually the fastest person. That was never the issue. But coming from a single A West Virginia small school and going to anything in college, everybody was absolutely massive. The running backs were bigger than any lineman that I had ever seen on the field. Roger, here's a true story. So I got dropped off for what is essentially camp and the combine. Time to run your 40, do the bench, do all that shit, get your measurables, right? And I'd only visited the campus once, and I had no idea where to go. My girlfriend and my dad dropped me off, right? And the first massive human that I saw, clearly he was a football player. He was like 6'4", and I asked him where to go, and he told me, and I said, you know what? I need to find out right now. And I said, yo, let me ask you something. What position do you play? Do you know what he fucking told me?
What?
Punter.
I knew it.
I'm not making this up. I swear to God. This was the first year that the Motorola V100 cell phone, and I had it. I called my girl on the spot, and I said, I'm not doing this. Come back and get me right now. She said, yes, you are, and she hung up on me.
Wow.
Because I thought to myself, if that's the punter, how big is everybody else? Because he was bigger than anybody I had ever seen. He was 6'4". He was a first-team All-American, yes, outlier to be that big. But in my mind, I was just like everyone else, going to be huge. And they were.
Yeah.
They were running backs that were, 240 pounds, 6'3", running like 4.6s and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was crazy. So let's get into some prognostication on what's going to happen for this weekend. So, L.A. at Green Bay. What do you think?
LA's looking pretty strong, man. The running back, the quarterback that came in after the starting quarterback got hurt. He did a good job. I don't know the guy's name. But
yeah, Jared Goff. Jared Goff's actually their starter, so he just came in and took his old job back. But he does have a thumb issue, but they are more a run-oriented team anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's all about that's the number one scoring defense versus the number one scoring offense in the NFL. And we always love when that happens. And usually the defense tends to prevail in those scenarios, but this is a new NFL. And I don't know if the Rams, if they don't score on defense or special teams, if they can keep up with Green Bay.
Yeah, in this matchup, I'm looking at which quarterback I trust more, and I gotta go with the eventual league MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, they already named him MVP, so that's it. So
they already named him?
Yeah. So the matchup of the weekend is Baltimore at Buffalo. I'm still running. I have to go with Baltimore because they were my preseason pick to go to the Super Bowl, and they are getting hot at the right time, and I think they continue the momentum right through.
Ooh.
I think they're still trying to prove that last year really pissed them off.
I get that, but I mean, I'm gonna have to flip with Buffalo on this one. I mean, Josh Allen gives me both running and passing. And I trust the receivers. I mean, I know we have to check the health of both Diggs and Beasley, but I trust that they're both going to be out there, and I just trust them more than anybody else. I mean, Buffalo, I think Buffalo can be ran on. That's the only thing that kind of.
I want Buffalo to win, but I just don't think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, they're both tough teams, but if I had to put if I had to stake it down, put some stakes down, I'm going Buffalo.
Roger?
I agree with you, Kerry. I'm going with Buffalo simply because, they're hungry. They haven't been in the playoffs in a while. They got a young team. The defense, I like the defense, but definitely the quarterback and Diggs and their running game will prevail, I believe.
I want Buffalo to win. It's more entertaining, but I'm just looking at the momentum of playoff football, and Baltimore is doing what teams who typically reach title games do, is getting hot at the right time. Cleveland at Kansas City. I think Cleveland just won their Super Bowl, and they're going to get blown out.
I agree.
They can run the ball in Kansas City, but it's Kansas City. And, Roger, you get it, Kerry, you know it. They just won their Super Bowl. They got a playoff win against Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So look for Cleveland to make a run next year. This year, it's over. Kansas City, it's done.
I agree with you. Kansas City too. My fault, here.
Yeah, no. Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say again, like how we started this. I hope Rona doesn't play a part in any of these games because we have to see who's going to be available. I think Cleveland gets Denzel Ward back, which they could use all the help they can on defense. They did lose Jack Conklin last game, and they played with a makeshift line that still was able to push. They can run the rock, which is the Chiefs' Achilles heel. If they could come up with a game plan, if Alex Van Pelt can come up with a game plan to keep Mahomes and them on the sideline, I feel like it's going to be I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a closer game. I could actually see this being like a 27-24 game. I think Kansas City still wins, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Well, the only thing I think you have going for you in that argument is that Kansas City, through the last 6-7 weeks of the season, were winning by 3, 6, 5 points against teams that they should have blown out, but also they kind of look bored. They really they look like Golden State used to. Can we just get to the goddamn playoffs at this point? All right, so everybody's favorite game of the week, just because, go Bucks. Tampa Bay at New Orleans. This is going to be incredible because Tom Brady never loses to somebody 3 times in a year. I do not feel like he is going to allow Drew Brees to be like, I beat you the last 3 times. I got you. He's not going to allow Drew to walk out like that. And as we talk about playoff momentum, Tampa Bay's offense is getting really hot right at the right time. Antonio Brown is becoming unstoppable again. So just because it's Tom Brady, I'm running with the Bucks, and even pragmatically, I would still pick the Bucks. I think this is it. He will shut down Drew Brees' career, and we'll see him in the analyst booth next year for some channel.
Go ahead, Kerry.
Yeah. I was gonna say, listen. So I'm a New York Giants fan, born and bred. I remember the year, this year that Dallas beat us twice. It was 2005. It was on the way to the G's first Super Bowl with Eli Manning. I told a buddy of mine who is a big time Cowboy fan, because we have a running bet, our team Dallas versus Giants. I said, if you beat us 3 times in this season, I will fly to Texas and hand you your money in person. That's how much I believe that the G's will win this game. Like, it is super tough to beat a team even 2 times in a row.
3?
But 3 times in a row, especially with that quarterback, those weapons, nah, homie, not happening. Tampa Bay.
This is a tough one. You got 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Whoever slings it out the best receivers. Like I said, 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I would probably have to go with Drew Brees and that offense, the high potent offense they got.
I like it because Alvin Kamara is the X factor. How do you stop somebody who is unstoppable? He literally has the best balance of anybody that I think I've ever seen. Maybe since O.J. Simpson, and even probably better. It's just O.J.'s the last one that I can remember who kind of ran with that balance style, always centered somehow. You saw how easily he cleared those suitcases in those Hertz commercials.
Kamara is a lot stronger than what people give him credit for.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, realistically, entertainment-wise, the matchups that you would want to see is Green Bay and Tampa in the NFC Championships, because that would be incredible. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. The narrative writes itself.
And Aaron has to get back.
Yeah.
Aaron remembers things from that game.
From getting blown out by Tampa.
Yes, of course, to settle.
And then, football-wise, honestly, I want to see Buffalo and Kansas City. I want to see Buffalo. That's the best football-wise, but Baltimore, I think, is just too hot. We shall see. Roger Harper, I appreciate you stopping by, homie. We will make this a regularity. I will always send you the link, and you can always pop in whenever you want, homie.
Yes, sir, for sure.
You already know.
It's a pleasure meeting you too, man.
And then, the Dower Hour tomorrow, so I'll be on in the afternoon, as I always am. So, shout out to everybody for coming through. It was a quick one because there's only fucking 4 games.
Yeah.
So, it makes it easy. But we did get something we don't ever do. Some college football discussion because I kind of just pushed all that shit right to the side. This is an NFL show.
That's what's up.
So I appreciate your time, fellas, and I will be in touch.
Pleasure.
All right, everybody. So I appreciate everybody coming through. It's dope that we got Roger Harper, a friend of the 333, to give us some inside NFL information. That shit is fucking amazing. You got to love the internet. Let me turn my camera back on. It's just a voice at this moment. There I am. So, yeah. You got to love the internet, man. The shit has been cool. Rap music has brought all of the people here together somehow. So, I met Carrie through ties of Infamous Records. I met Nice clearly through P and Infamous Records. And I met Roger Harper through the entire 333 community and holding it down for P. So that shit is cool as fuck, man. That shit makes me smile internally and makes all of this more than worth it. So I appreciate you guys. I will see you tomorrow morning for morning meditation. Until then, stay safe. RIPP 333. I'm out.